Hello students, this is Ajay Kumar Solanki and today I am going to explain chapter number 2, the cell, the most important chapter of biology because cell students is the basic structure and functional unit of life because as you can see here all living organisms are made up of cells. Every living human, every living being, whether he is human, animal, any other, actually their bodies are made up of cells, and it is in the cell that all the life processes, functions, every function actually takes place inside the cell. So we can say because a body is made up of a cell, because cell is the basic unit of life, the very smallest unit of life is a single cell, and all functions are carried out inside a cell. So that's why it is also the functional unit of life, basic unit also, because the smallest or the unit smallest unit of life is the cell. And there are lots of cells through cell division are built up, and the body grows up. Later on we will learn in this chapter. And the body consists of a single cell in simple organisms, which is made up of billions of cells in higher organisms. The animals or organisms which cannot be seen through eyes, there are lots of animals, lots of organisms, their bodies are made up of single cell, so they are known as single celled organisms. They are simple organisms, while some organisms are multicellular. Their body is made up of more than one cell, means lots of cells are combined to form or to give shape to their bodies. So we have learned some, we will learn some animals, some organisms like bacteria, yeast, amoebas. Their body actually is made up of a single cell, so that's why these are known as single celled animals, means unicellular organisms. Uni means one, and one celled organisms such as human beings, they are bigger in shape. Cows, trees are made up of large number of cells, okay. So because of which they are known as multicellular organisms. Multi means more than one, lots of, they may be thousands, they may be hundreds, and lots of cells actually are required to build up their bodies. Now students, we will learn, here the diagrams are given of the unicellular organisms like amoeba, like yeast. You can see the diagrams. Discovery of the cell we will learn now. The word, first of all, cell was coined means discovered, by Robert Hooke first. He was an English scientist who belonged to England, and he first of all gave shape to designed the microscope. And this microscope he had designed to watch out to see very small, very minute objects. And while observing a thin slice of dry cork, first of all he had observed a very thin slice of dry cork one day in 1665, and he found that it was made of some chambers. And when he observed this slice, जब उन्होंने इस slice को, पतले से टुकड़े को ऑब्जर्व किया, and through his microscope, then he observed some chambers like this in its cell, and which he called cells. और उसने उस चैम्बर्स को, जो चैम्बर्स उसने देखे, उसने उनको सेल्स का नाम दिया. Since cork has only dead cells, as you know, because cork itself is dead, so he saw only the walls of dead cells. No living cell he had discovered, and was unable to see what lies inside a living cell. So because of which he could not find at all what actually lies inside the cell that is living. The different components of cell were discovered gradually over the years. Thereafter time passed by, and lots of other components were discovered by the different scientists. None of this would have been possible without the microscope. But students, microscope was highly required for observing each and every cell. Figure 2.2 shows the kind of microscope we use today. See the microscope. Here's the mirror, you can see. This is the stage where you can place something to watch out. There are the objectives, means different mirrors also that are found in the microscope apart from one mirror, and that is the eyepiece through which a person can watch out the slice and watch out the thing and observe the cells. So students, Same description is given over here, and this diagram shows the microscope we use today. We place the specimen. Specimen means whatever the specimen, whatever the thing we are taking to observe, that is specimen on the part of stage. Here, actually, this is the stage. Here we keep the thing and to observe. And thereafter look through the eyepiece. Eyepiece is there, and we watch out from here to have a glance over the slice or thing, whatever we want to observe. And there are two other lenses, and this eyepiece is all known as lens, and apart from this lens there are two other lenses, means more than two. In some microscopes, there are some microscopes in which more than two lenses are found, and these other extra additional lenses are known as objectives. Here you can see, and these are known as objectives. The lenses in the microscope work like magnifying glasses, and the lenses actually work like magnifying the things to make the things bigger, so that they will look very clear, obvious to our eyes. We align one of the objectives with the specimen, and thereafter we align the thing. We keep the thing in a certain line, so that our focus should directly be on the specimen. Mirror below the stage directs light through the specimen, and this is the mirror, and it throws the light, and that passes through the specimen and directly comes to our eyes, so that this thing appears very clear to our eyes. Okay students, in 1672 another scientist, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, discovered the presence of single-celled organisms in a drop of water, and he found out single-celled organisms in a drop of water. He took one drop of water and observed the cells of those organisms whose body is made up of one cell. And using a microscope he had developed himself, and microscope also he had developed by his own, and through his own microscope he had discovered the single-celled animals. This was the beginning of the discovery of the vast world of microorganisms, and after this discovery lots of other scientists and lots of other discoveries were made, and these discoveries were made to find out the different segments, components or parts of microorganisms. So through after this discovery, this era has started. Now students, we will learn more. You will need your teacher's help to see cells under the microscope. Take the microscope, and with the help of teacher you can find out the different parts of any slice, any piece, anything which you want to see. Suppose pull out a thin peel from an onion scale. First of all, take an onion and take out the thin peel. Peel means छिलका, उसका लीजिए, as shown in the figure 2.4. As you can see in figure 2.4, this is, and like this. We have to take one slice, one thin peel of the onion, and thereafter place a small piece of the peel on a glass slide. एक कांच की स्लाइड पे उसका एक छोटा सा पीस रख दीजिए, एंड स्टेन इट विद डाइल्यूट सैफ्रनिन, और उसके बाद में डाइल्यूट करके सैफ्रनिन को, डाइल्यूट मीन्स टू ऐड सम वाटर फ्रॉम आवर साइड टू मेक इट मोर, टू इंक्रीज इट्स लिक्विडिटी, और उसके बाद में इस डाइल्यूट सैफ्रनिन से स्टेन की हुई, स्टेन से भिगोई हुई, स्टेन की हुई स्लाइड को आप कवर कर दीजिए विद अ कवर स्लिप. एक कांच की गोल स्लिप आती है, देन यू हैव टू पुट ओवर इट, अवॉइडिंग एयर बबल्स, बिकॉज एयर बबल्स डू नॉट प्रोड्यूस. देन ऑब्जर्व द पील अंडर द हाई पावर ऑफ द माइक्रोस्कोप, एंड देयर आफ्टर ऑब्जर्व इट एंड ड्रॉ व्हाट यू सी, एंड ऑब्जर्व योर and draw the observations whatever you watch out. And now students, we will do one more experiment. Dig out some grass. Okay, take out some grass without damaging the roots. Its roots should not be damaged, and wash the roots then thoroughly, completely. अच्छे से धो लीजिए उसकी जड़ों को, and then place a couple of finer roots on a glass slide. और उसके बाद में उसमें से जो एक दो रूट्स लीजिए, और दो रूट्स लेने के बाद उनको ऑन अ ग्लास स्लाइड पे रख दीजिए, स्लाइड पे, कांच की लंबी स्लाइड पे, विदाउट यूजिंग ए कवर स्लिप. और कवर स्लिप मत लगाइए, क्योंकि लंबी ग्रास की जो स्लाइड्स हैं, लंबी रूट्स हैं, एंड ऑब्जर्व दीज अंडर द लो पावर ऑफ द माइक्रोस्कोप, और हल्की पावर करके उसको माइक्रोस्कोप के थ्रू देखिए. नाउ द सेल्यूलर स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द रूट इज सेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द रोप, और उसको नोट कर लीजिए, उसकी स्ट्रक्चर को, जो सेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर है उसे आप नोट कर लीजिए. इज ईच रूट मेड ऑफ सिंगल सेल और मैनी सेल्स? Now the question is whether each root is made up of one cell or many cells. Scrape the inside of your cheek now. One more experiment you can do. Now take a toothpick और उससे अपने मुंह के अंदर, चीक के अंदर स्क्रैप करिए, थोड़ा सा रगड़िए. डिपॉजिट दी स्क्रैपिंग्स. अब वो जो स्क्रैपिंग्स उस टूथपिक पे लग जाएंगी एंड उन्हें डिपॉजिट कर लीजिए, रख लीजिए इन ए ड्रॉप ऑफ वाटर, पानी की एक बूंद के ऊपर. डाइल्यूट विथ मैथिलीन ब्लू सॉल्यूशन भी ले सकते हैं, डाइल्यूट करके मैथिलीन का ब्लू सॉल्यूशन, और एक ग्लास स्लाइड. ऑन ए ग्लास स्लाइड कवर द ड्रॉप विद अ कवर स्लिप. ग्लास स्लाइड पर रखने के बाद आफ्टर पुटिंग इट, आफ्टर प्लेसिंग इट ऑन द ग्लास स्लाइड, यू कैन कवर इट विद अ कवर स्लिप एंड ऑब्जर्व थ्रू द माइक्रोस्कोप एंड यू विल सी फ्लैट चपटी तरह की इरेगुलर छोटी बड़ी सेल्स आपको दिखाई देंगी. लाइक दिस यू कैन सी दिस डायग्राम, लाइक दिस यू विल सी द सेल्स ऑन योर ग्लास स्लाइड. Now structure of the cell. After you have seen different cells under the microscope, you will realize that cells are of different shapes. Now you can understand very well that cells are not of the same size. They may be of same size, but mostly they are different in shapes. Cheek cells, for example, if we take, are flat, and while muscle cells are thin, elongated, and muscle cells लंबी होती हैं. Elongated means लंबी, नली की जैसी होती हैं, tubular. Plant cells may be rectangular. Plant cells actually may have the shape of rectangle, round, maybe oval shaped they भी, और लंबी भी हो सकती है. Amoebas, which consist of just a single cell, change their shape frequently. Amoeba does not remain in the same shape. It changes its shape most often, and however most cells have certain things in common structurally. But by structure if we see, then we find out that most of the cells have certain things in common. Not all. एंड ए सेल इज़ अ टाइनी सैक. सेल एक छोटी सी एक कोश होता है, एक थैली जैसी होती है, सैक के जैसा होता है सेल. एक सिंगल सेल, इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट अ सिंगल सेल, एंड इट इज़ बाउंडेड फ्रॉम ऑल साइड्स बाय ए थिन स्किन दैट इज नोन एज membrane. That is the cell membrane, and it is found in plant cells and animal cells in both. Okay. Inside the membrane is a semi-liquid substance, and if we understand, if we analyze this membrane, then we find out inside it a semi-liquid fluid. फ्लूइड जैसा, लेकिन ज़्यादा गाढ़ा नहीं, ज़्यादा पतला नहीं होता, थोड़ा कम पतला होता है, थोड़ा गाढ़ा होता है, और इस सेमी फ्लूइड सब्सटेंस इज नोन एज साइटोप्लाज्म. दैट इज इनसाइड द मेम्ब्रेन, सेल मेम्ब्रेन. नाउ द स्टूडेंट्स, साइटोप्लाज्म कंसिस्ट मोस्टली ऑफ वाटर. Most of the part of cytoplasm is water. It also has few types of salts and proteins also inside it. Tiny structures called organelles. Okay students, because organelles are the cell parts of the cell. They are very tiny, they are very small, they keep suspending, keep lying, suspending here and there, इधर उधर घूमते रहना, and they keep suspending in the cytoplasm. And these parts we will study now one by one and according to their functions. First of all, we will learn about cell membrane. Cell membrane is found, you know, in plant cells and animal cells both, and which is also known as the plasma membrane. And how it works, first of all, it encloses the various organelles and cytoplasm as well, and because it is all around the organelles and cytoplasm, it gives a definite shape to a cell, because cell takes shape when there is membrane around it, and because of this membrane it takes a definite shape. And now students, third point, it regulates the movement of the substances into and from the cell, because whatever the substances are to come in or are to go out, it regulates, monitors all these issues, which substances are to go out and which substances should be in. Only certain substances are allowed to enter or leave the cell, not all the substances. So because of which its name is also selectively permeable membrane, which does not permit all these substances to come in or to go out independently. It protects the contents of the cell also. Whatever the contents of the cell are there inside it, cell membrane protects it. Plasma membrane protects it. Now the students, cell wall. Cell wall is not present in animal cell. It is present only in plant cells. A plant cell is enclosed not only by this plasma membrane, means cell membrane, but also by the wall outside the membrane. Another wall is there outside the membrane, and that is known as cell wall, and this cell wall is made of cellulose. These things you can see, and one by one we will learn all about the organelles. These are given the organelles. Animal cell, this is the plant cell. Comparatively by the less powered microscope, if we see, and here is electron microscope, if we see the animal cell and plant cell, then these are the parts we can see, and one by one we will learn about them. And so by the wall, cell wall membrane called the cell wall. Cell wall is made of cellulose, a kind of carbohydrate. So students, this cellulose is a kind of carbohydrates. We can call cellulose a kind of carbohydrate. The cell wall serves the following purposes. What is the purposes? What is the work? What is the function of cell wall? First of all, it gives the shape to the cell. Second thing, it makes the cell rigid, means tight and strong. Because of this cell wall, it is tight and strong. It protects the cell from injury. Cell is quite secured, and it protects the cell because of the, and cell wall protects the cell, and thereafter the cell wall is freely permeable. Freely permeable means it allows all the substances to enter or leave the cell. Now the students, one more organelle is the nucleus. Nucleus is the most important organelle of a cell. Nucleus, the most important, controls all the vital activities, important activities of the cell. And it may be sphere-like or oval-like in shape. It is enclosed by a membrane called cell membrane. Already you have learnt it. And filled with nucleoplasm. This new thing you have to learn, that nucleus is filled with nucleoplasm, and nucleoplasm is a dense, not fully liquid but semi-liquid substance. One or two small spherical bodies called nucleoli actually lie within the nucleus. Nucleoli are maybe one or two, and small spherical bodies they are. And why the nucleus is so important? Because nucleus contains fine, thread-like, very fine, very small thread-like structures arranged in a network, and they are called the chromatin networks. And before a cell divides to form a new cells, because of the cell division, because it promotes the cell division, so because of which this is the most important organelle. And cell divides to form a new cells, the chromatin threads get coiled. These chromatin जो threads हैं ये आपस में coiled हो जाते हैं, मिल जाते हैं, और coiled होकर के आपस में mix होकर के become shorter and thicker, और short और thicker हो जाते हैं, and after becoming shorter and thicker they form chromosomes, and each chromosome carries large number of genes, okay, and genes are required and to control the hereditary characters, means vanshanugat, that are passed from one generation to another generation, that are hereditary, or the traits that are passed down from the present cell to the new cells. और ये these genes actually decide the traits, means characteristics, which characteristics will go or shift to the parent cell, from the parent cell to the new cell. New cell will receive those very traits from a parent cell. Every organism is characterized by a fixed number of chromosomes. Now we will learn about it कि हर organism एक characterized होता है, specialized होता है, और by उसमें कुछ characters होते हैं, fixed, उसमें कुछ fixed number of chromosomes होते हैं. Each cell in its body has this particular number of chromosomes. Now we will learn about some. You can see this figure also. Chromatin network is given, and nuclear membrane, and nucleolus is found, nucleoplasm is here, and this is the shape of nucleus. Now number of chromosomes in different organisms you can study. In humans 46, onion 16, baker's cheese 16, rice 24, dog 78 chromosomes are fixedly found. Mitochondria now. Mitochondria is powerhouse of the cell. Singular form is mitochondria, and it helps in breaking down glucose first of all, and the energy whatever comes from glucose, and this energy is used by the cell to power all its functions. First of all, it breaks down glucose, and after breaking it down, it converts its energy into a form, and that form is used by the cell easily, and its all functions are carried out then. So because of which it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Plastids, very important part of cell, and they are found only in plant cells, not in animal cells. They contain pigments, okay, coloring matter, because of which you can see the color of roots, color of leaves, color of fruits, right? They are covered by a double membrane, and their shape varies from round to filamentous, or they are covered with double membrane. Two membranes are there rounded, and their shape actually varies. Not only of one shape they are, and they are of many shapes, like filamentous. Filamentous means thread like भी हो सकते हैं, like ribbon like भी हो सकते हैं, and plastids are of following types that are found in a cell, plant cell. First of all, chloroplast. Chloroplast, actually they are the plastids, and they have the green pigment known as chlorophyll, because of which, you know, and green leaves you can see. So the green color is because of this pigment. Chloroplast help a plant trap solar energy, and because of this chloroplast, plant actually easily trap the solar energy inside it, energy from the sun, which is then used to convert carbon dioxide and water to food, and thereafter this energy is used to convert carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water with this solar energy that is trapped in plants is used to convert these two things into food, means carbohydrates. Chloroplasts are therefore essential for the survival of not only plants but also all other organisms which depend on plants, because one more feature is of also there of chloroplast, and that is to store food at the time of requirement. Plants actually use this food. Now next is chromoplast. Chromoplast are the all the colored pigments other than green. They are also colored, and but apart from green, because green color is because of this chloroplast, while other colors like orange, yellow, red, actually they are because of this pigment that are found in chloroplast. And ripe fruits and by produced by these colored plastids, they are also plastids, and all the colored pigments that we see in plants are produced and stored by chromoplasts, not in chloroplasts. Leucoplasts are colorless plastids found in roots, seeds, underground. First of all, they are colorless till when they are under the ground, like potato and ginger, but when they come out of the ground, some like potatoes, when they are exposed to sunlight, some part of potato you can see is of green color. So this is because of leucoplast, and this is because the leucoplast in potatoes, okay, vacuoles. These structures are like sacs or cavities. Vacuoles भी sacs और cavities के जैसे होते हैं, थैली के जैसे होते हैं, एक cavity के जैसे होते हैं. They contain a fluid called cell sap, और इनके अंदर एक fluid पाया जाता है that is known as cell sap, which consists of, and cell sap is made up of water, sugar, salts, other food materials, waste materials, and so many other materials. Plants cells usually have one or a few large vacuoles. In plants, we can find one or a few big vacuoles. Initially, in the very beginning, the vacuole is like a small bubble. एक bubble के जैसा होता है शुरू में vacuole. It becomes larger as the cell grows. As soon as the cell becomes larger, and the shape of vacuole also grows up. Once the cell is mature, and after getting its maturity, the cell vacuole takes up the most of the space, pushing all the cytoplasm, nucleus, and other organelles to the periphery. Periphery means to the outer boundary, and most of the space it covers up. What is the function of vacuole? First of all, it maintains the shape of the cell. Thereafter, it maintains the balance of water in a cell. Water should not go more and go less. It stores chemicals, food, water, and salts. And some animal cells also have some vacuoles, and amoebas form food vacuoles to store food. Amoebas actually store food in food vacuoles. Here we can see the difference of plant cell, animal cell. Already I had told you, plant cell is enclosed by a rigid cell wall. Cell wall not found in animal cell. In plant cell, plastids are found, but plastids are nowhere. Now in plant cell, a mature cell has one or a few large vacuoles. Animals do not have vacuoles, but if present, they have very small vacuoles. Now students, we will learn the very important feature, that is cell division. Okay, cell division is required for reproduction, growth, maintenance of the body, and healing of wounds. These things, how the reproduction means growth, and how the body is maintained, and thereafter how the wounds are cured, and when we get hurt, and the life of higher organisms starts from a single cell, as you know. And this initial stage, that is known as zygote, and which is formed by the fusion of male cell and a female cell. When male and female cell come in contact, then as a result a zygote is formed. A single cell divides into two cells, and each of the two cells once again get divided, and this division continues. Thus the zygote grows into an embryo, and thereafter the embryo into a baby, and the baby into an adult. In the case of unicellular organism, if we talk about, the cell comprising the body divides into two first of all, and to form two organisms, and thereafter each of the organisms gives rise to two new organisms, and the procedure continues. New cells formed by the cell division constantly replace dead and damaged cells. When the new cells are formed, the dead and damaged cells are replaced. That is how the skin mends itself when we get a cut, as you know. And with the passage of time, जब हमारी चोट लग जाती है तो स्किन ऑटोमेटिकली मेंट्स, अपने आप ही वो क्योर हो जाती है वैन हमारे कट लग जाता है. Now the students, I do hope the chapter is very clear to all of you. Now answers you can give very easily. The first question, why are cells called the structural and functional units of living organ? Cells को structural और functional unit क्यों कहा जाता है students? Tell me. Okay, I will tell you the answer. And cells are known as the structural because the cell is the basic unit of life. The smallest unit of life is cell, and all the functions take place inside the cell. So because of which it is also functional unit of living organisms. What is an organelle? Organelle क्या होता है student? Organelle is the cell part. Cell part of the parts of the cell are known as organelles. Okay, organelles are found in cytoplasm, keep suspended and all the time inside the cytoplasm, and some organelles you can also name very easily, like vacuoles, like nucleus, like mitochondria. Lots of organelles are there. And now third question, why are mitochondria called the powerhouse of the cell? Can you tell me? Right now I have taught you, because mitochondria, what do? They convert. What they convert? First of all, they break down glucose and converts its energy into a form, energy of glucose, and then this energy can be used by the cell to power all its functions. So because of which mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Now students, what does the nucleus contain? Anybody can tell me? Nucleus contains a very important thing, that is chromatin threads. Chromatin threads later on get coiled, and thereafter they take the shape of chromosomes. Okay, chromosomes decides the number of genes, and which decide the hereditary issues that are passed from a parental cell to a new cell. What causes the color of ripe fruits? Can you tell me? Because coloring pigments are found in what? Easy answer it is. Coloring pigments are found in plastids, and plastids are for many types. And the ripe fruits, here you can see about plastids. For the green color, which plastids? Chloroplasts are responsible for the green color of the fruits, of the leaves, while for the ripe fruits, chromoplast is responsible, because of this chromoplast, red, orange or yellow color pigments we can see in plants are produced in plastids. Okay, while leucoplasts are the colorless plastids. So it is all about chapter number 2, and for revision, students can read the points to remember for your better learning. Okay students, so I do hope you have understood the chapter well. Once again, go through the chapter, note down the important points about the organelles, about the cell membrane known as plasma membrane, about the plant, about the different types of other organelles, cell wall, and mitochondria, nucleus, so that later on you will face no problem at all. Thank you very much students for watching out this video, and have a good day.